It's the opening night and they're lighting the lights. The orchestra is tuning to make sure they sound right. It's time to start our show tonight.
I'm here in Grosvenor Park for Chester Performs 2015 season, where they'll be showing Romeo and Juliet, The Merry Wives of Windsor and Wind in the Willows, all in the open air. And we went along to see how they were getting on.
So this season we're presenting Merry Wives of Windsor, Romeo and Juliet and The Wind in the Willows, which is a really dynamic season, I guess, because of the three, you can imagine the three really distinct audiences, that really family offer of Wind in the Willows, the really strong classic Shakespeare offer of Romeo and Juliet, and then something for the theatre goer that perhaps hasn't seen Merry Wives of Windsor. It's something you're not going to have seen before, and it's bringing us in three very different audiences. Merry Wives is basically a hen-do of a piece. Romeo and Juliet is obviously a big, meaty, heartfelt, passionate tragedy, and Wind in the Willows is family bliss, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's, I'm in all three plays. Everyone's in all three shows. We're doing Romeo and Juliet, so I'm Lady Capulet, which is Juliet's mother. Merry Wives of Windsor, I'm Mistress Ford, so I'm the sort of double act that we get our sort of our own back on, full staff, the greasy knight. And then in Wind in the Willows, which is our more family show, I'm Ruby, the jailer's daughter, and I end up with a toad, which is lovely. And then I'm a ferret and a bird. Everyone's quite ensemble.
Yeah.
Great. So it's quite a mixture.
Hi James, thanks for taking the time to come and talk to us.
It's all right.
So, who do you play in these three plays?
In Romeo and Juliet, I'm the bad dad, Juliet's father, Lord Capulet. In Merry Wives of Windsor, I'm Mr. Ford, who pretends to be Mr. Brooke, and hilarity ensues on a good night. And then in Wind in the Willows, I can never remember what I am. It's a, oh God, it's not a weasel. It is a weasel. It's a kind of weasel. It's a kind of weasel and a bird. Oh, and a jailer. Yeah. Okay. There's just lots of costume changes.
And there's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Forgive me for not remembering that. So you are Juliet, aren't you?
I am indeed, yes. Yes.
Quite an iconic role.
Yeah.
How are you finding that?
Loving it, absolutely loving it. Thrilled to have this chance to play her, because I kind of thought I was getting, you know, there's a point in an actor's career where you get to the point where you go, I might not get to play certain roles because of age, and thankfully, you know, thankfully I've got the chance, which is just amazing, and I've just loved the play. The play is so beautiful, and just loved playing her as well, because she's just a dream. She's just so much fun. So yeah, really loving it, really loving it.
And not only have you got this massive role
there,
you're also in the other two, aren't you?
Yeah. So there's 15 of us, lovely company of 15 actors, and we're all in all three plays. So we're doing Romeo and Juliet, Merry Wives of Windsor and Wind in the Willows, and we all get to sort of play varying roles in all three. Most people have sort of got a large role in one, and then smaller parts in the other two. So it's a really nice sort of stretch across the whole rep season, which is lovely. So in the other two, I play Anne Page in Merry Wives of Windsor, who's sort of the young ingenue that, you know, all of the men sort of, don't really know why I've been cast, but all of the men want to marry her. She's 16, she's sort of, she's sort of the young love, and she kind of strives for truth and honesty. And then in Wind in the Willows, I play Irvin the Stoat.
An obvious choice.
Obvious choice. And Woolpack the Judge, again, obvious casting. I mean, I probably should just be playing all my characters as Woolpack the Judge. Juliet as the judge would probably make much more sense. And then we all play kind of chorus parts, so washerwomen and birds, and it's really lovely. And it's also lovely because you get the chance to do such differing things across the season. So I'm not just, my focus isn't just Juliet, which means that like tonight we're doing Romeo and Juliet. When you come back to it, it's really exciting because you've not forgotten it, but there's just elements of it that you've had sort of 2-3 nights off, and you come back to a role like Juliet and go, oh, this is why I love this. This is why it's wonderful.
And
then the
really
next day,
keeps it fresh, doesn't it?
really fresh, which is wonderful. And then the next day you'll come in and you'll be in the 70s in Windsor doing a mad fairy dance, and that's also completely joyous and wonderful. So yeah, it's really great. It's a really lovely, wonderful season.
And you've directed 2 of the pieces, that's correct, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. So I directed Wind in the Willows and Romeo and Juliet, which is it's a wonderful challenge for any practitioner to do 2 such different pieces.
Yeah, I was going to say quite a contrast.
Yeah, massive contrast, but that's, a change is as good as a rest, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it really does, it's a real refresher moving between those 2 worlds, and being, again, challenged and refreshed by watching Rebecca Gatwood work, who directed Merry Wives of Windsor, and who's a fabulous director, really generous, ebullient presence in a rehearsal room, and has created something, a really joyful comedy in Merry Wives of Windsor, really raucous, and so that's obviously for me as a practitioner hugely re-energising to watch and learn from her as well.
Yeah, and you get the chance to work with a 15-strong cast as well.
Yeah, and again, when you think about it, it's 15 actors, but they're playing probably 70 or 80 roles between them. So you're seeing, again, it's really learning for me as a practitioner, learning and watching how varied and rich their skills are. So you're seeing an actor playing Falstaff one night, Mr. Toad the next night, and Lord Montague the next night. You're watching an actor playing Lord Capulet, playing Mr. Page, and playing a bonkers comic role in Wind in the Willows. You're seeing they're huge, the breadth of their skill and talent, and really, again, for me as a practitioner, there's so much to learn from that and realise how you mustn't underestimate the craft of an actor.
So you get the chance to work with 2 different people, and their styles being different? Or?
Well, yeah, it's hard to describe because the plays are very different.
Yeah.
Merry Wives is kind of this kind of 70s nutty the sitcom set, like Shakespeare set in that world.
Okay.
And Romeo and Juliet is a kind of very sort of rustic and turn of the century sort of classic. So the 2 are very different. But and then Wind in the Willows was kind of not devised as such because there was a text, but how we put it together was all sort of very physical, and that was all new to me, and I didn't know what we were doing. But it has all come together in the end. I just sort of hid at the back, and then you realise it's in the round. There is no back. There is nowhere to hide, basically. But that's all come together, and that all works now. That makes sense to me now.
And there's lots for audiences, isn't there? I mean, they don't just need to come and watch you guys play one of them. It's kind of see all 3 plays, really. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I think what's lovely is that as an audience, I was here last year as well with the season, and I think what's lovely is when they come and see all 3, they can go, oh my gosh, but Romeo's playing a ferret, that's completely bonkers, and you can see those roles, that you've seen play, for example, in Romeo and Juliet, which is quite a, well, actually, I was about to say it's a serious play. The whole of the first half is almost a comedy, which I just absolutely, it's just one of my favourite things about the production. But yeah, you can watch quite a serious play and then another day come back and watch Wind in the Willows, which is just completely full of joy, and the kids absolutely love it, which I love because I just love looking at their little faces and just seeing all the kids just having the best time. And yeah, you can see Friar Lawrence in a dress playing a washerwoman, which is, who doesn't want to do that? But it's really lovely. It's really lovely to come and see them all if you can, because that's sort of part of the joy as well as seeing the actors change throughout all 3 plays, which is, really, just really lovely.
Yeah. And now this has really grown, hasn't it, this open-air theatre?
Yeah, massively.
Mm-hmm.
You were at the forefront of that, weren't you?
Well, sort of, yeah. So we set it up in 2010, and when we began, it was, half this size. It was a sort of 200-seat auditorium. We housed it over there, wrapped around one of these trees, and played to 5,000 people across 3.5 weeks. And so here we are now. We'll be playing to 26,000 people over the course of the 9 weeks that we're here, performing 4 different productions. So it's really grown. That 4th production, which I didn't mention previously, is our young company offer. So we have a sort of fringe festival that's produced and presented by young people between the ages of 16 and 24, which is running at the minute. They're rehearsing at the moment, and will be performing later in the season.
And have you seen, because obviously you were in the company last year as well, the development from one season to the next?
Massively, yeah, both in the site. I think the site has really changed. So last year we weren't completely in the round. We had a sort of double door structure at basically this end here, and it was sort of 3 sides almost getting to in the round, and this year it's completely in the round. So not only is the site changing, but they're learning every year what works, what doesn't. They're just a wonderful company who are really keen to just basically do the best that they can possibly do for audience and actor and stage manager and crew and everything. They're just learning every year what works and what doesn't. And you know, I think this is year number 6. Is that right? I think it's year number 6. And you can just see every year it just gets stronger and better. And with the new building as well, the new cultural centre that they're building, it's just kind of every year it's just growing and growing and becoming something more and more splendid every year, which is I'm just so honoured that I'm being a tiny little cog in part of that, which is just lovely.
That's it, yeah, this has been such a success, and it brings in such a different audience for us. You know, 25% of our audience here declare this as their only cultural event of the year. So we're really reaching an audience that's well, it's a new audience. So we'd be bonkers to do anything other than keep this going and grow it. I love this offer. I'm really proud of it, and I think I think our front of house team is the best front of house team in the country. The way they host people, the way it's much more than just a play that you're coming to. This isn't a playhouse. It's a real event. It's a great night out, or a great day out.
Yeah.
So this open air theatre runs through until the 23rd of August, playing every night except Monday night, and doing matinees on Wednesdays and Saturday and midday shows on Sunday. Basically, there's an absolutely vast programme of work which you can access through our website chesterperforms.com or through Grosvenor Park openairtheatre.co.uk.
Each week we bring you all of the latest film news.
From interviews with filmmakers and actors, to local events, to the new cinema releases.
Join us every Tuesday evening on Bay TV Liverpool.
Impropriety began in 2008 when people that have worked with Ken Campbell and fans of his did a 33.5 long improvathon, which was 2008 minutes long, and from then Impropriety was born. It's been amazing. We've gone from strength to strength. We used to be based at Mellow Mellow, and of course that sadly went quiet a while ago, so we moved here to 81 Renshaw, and it's wonderful. We've got a really lovely following. We now do an annual improvathon, which is 33.5 hours long. So we had a minute on every year. So this year it's 2015 minutes, next year it'll be 2016 minutes. We do workshops here at 81 Renshaw, we go into schools, we go into businesses, anywhere where they'll let us come and make things up, we will be there. We have kind of fortnightly workshop. It's the first and third Wednesday of every month, and it's just for anybody at all, and we play. It's not necessarily teaching, we call it a jam, so we kind of throw in ideas that we do, and people just come and laugh a lot. It's a fabulous medicine. The next one is the 19th of August here at 81 Renshaw, at 7 p.m. till 9 p.m, and it's only £4 for 2 hours of fantastic fun.
And if anyone wants to find out any more information,
yep, they can check us out on www.impropriety.co.uk. We're on Facebook and we are on Twitter, and they're just Impropriety.
So Liverpool Loves is taking place this weekend, all on the pier head, all on our most iconic location in the city. Thursday was Liverpool Loves Business. It was a brilliant day full of networking, and there was loads of brilliant seminars and business advice for local business people. There was over 700 people who came along to that event. It was a fantastic day. Yesterday we did Liverpool Loves Ireland, which was a show celebrating our cultural links to the Emerald Isle, as it's been termed. And it was a lot of dancing on tables and all that sort of stuff. Brilliant, brilliant show. And today we're on the pier head for the showpiece of the weekend, which is Liverpool Loves Festival. There's 3 live music stages, there's over 30 street food traders, festival bars, festival markets, brilliant culture programme. I'm just really overwhelmed by it all, and I think the weather's on our side today and we're having a brilliant time of it. Liverpool Loves Business focuses on small to medium enterprises. We felt that was a sort of lacking in the city, something for small business owners of any type. People who are looking to get into business, or people who've just started and are seeking out support or advice from people who've been doing it for years, and really I think it lived up to that. We've had some brilliant feedback from the day. There was a bit of an issue with putting up our original plan, which was to have it in a big top, a circus big top on the pier head. The weather was really poor at the start of the week, but I'm glad that happened that way because we've got the sun today. Liverpool Loves Ireland came from the fact that we as a city have massive links to Ireland, and obviously with it being a really unique sort of cultural offer, really, if you like, we wanted to include it as part of the programme and it gave us something different, and it was a brilliant show. There was an old band called Cream of the Barley that used to play in Flanagan's for over 20 years. They haven't played together for 10 years in Liverpool, and they reformed to play at the event last night, and there was a lot of old faces, I think, that they recognised in the audience, and it was a brilliant evening. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
We started in about 1983 in Liverpool in Flanagan's, and kept going there for about 18, 19 years, twice a week, and then we played all the pubs and clubs in Liverpool that would have us. Never really left Liverpool because there was that much going on and work there, so that's how it kept going.
Most of the audience was a student audience, wasn't it, really?
Yeah,
so
a mixture.
We've kept in touch with a lot of them. A lot of them have moved away to different parts of the country, but still called us for weddings and funerals. And
yeah, we've got cream of the barley babies and everything. People who met at one of our dues and got married, and so they've got cream of the barley babies now. Yeah. And we've gone on to do loads of weddings for people that used to come and see us.
The Cream of the Barley lads, I grew up going to Flanagan's on a Sunday to see Cream of the Barley, partly because the lead singer's my cousin, but that didn't really matter. I mean, me and all the lads I grew up with loved this band. It was just that kind of brilliance of the musicianship, but great old songs and just the atmosphere that they create. It's hard to find that now. You get it in Irish bars and clubs and so on, but you rarely see it on a big stage when it's basically a great pub band, if you like.
And the thing is that the music's come back together again, hasn't it? Didn't take much. Two rehearsals. And
we had two goals, yeah. So that's it, raw. The funny thing is, we never had rehearsals when we used to play because we were out quite a bit. So it was all just live, sort of dynamic, fire a new song up and see how it went. That was it.
Really hope that this happens again next year. I think it's a template this year for the future. I think it's an incredibly amazing location to do it. It's got diversity, so it's not just music, it's culture and food and drink and health and well-being and business. So I think it's essential for the summer programme.
This is the thing really that we've been building up to, and I think this is the one thing that we really wanted to get right in the programme. Because it's an outdoor event, you know, there's a lot of different things that can happen in terms of organising it, and you know, I think we've done a brilliant job of laying out the site. I think that all of our team have worked really hard on it. All of the people that worked alongside with us to even deliver this, and our partners and sponsors, and the likes of the Lord Mayor who came down to the event yesterday and the day before, and Mayor Joe Anderson as well, who's actually enabled us to start up this project. The support for the festival's been overwhelming, and I think it's exactly what Liverpool needed, a showcase for the city, a celebration of what Liverpool is, and a real good day out for everyone around the city. You know, it's stuff for families, there's a brilliant music programme. You know, we're not excluding anyone with regards to this event, and I feel that in future this is a platform for anyone to get involved and to really showcase what they do. You know, whether you play like the guys in this tent behind me, it's a Chinese cultural show, whether it's seroptometrists or seroptomists, sorry, got that wrong, who are exhibiting over there in the wellbeing area. You know, it's really for the city as a whole, and I think it's been a brilliant day so far, and I'm really looking forward to this evening. So if anyone came down to the event today, what we're asking is for them to, you know, really get behind it, as we've said, and to tell everyone else about it, and to spread the word. The festival's website is www.liverpoolloves.co.uk. We will be picking a date soon for next year. We'll announce that. So please spread the word and really get behind it and get involved.